at least as best as we possibly can, which is why we're live streaming this today. It's a new thing we're trying out. If you look over there, you can tell we're pretty pumped about it. Yeah. And if you listen carefully, you'll actually recognize new music from the Stones. Yeah. Didn't think you'd hear anything from them in a while, but no. We wanted to play something that was a little bolder, but decided we would settle on classic rock, and I think that's working just fine for all of us. And before we get going, I will introduce myself. Welcome to Skagway, everybody. Whoa, my name is Nugget Barlow, and you might be wondering, how does somebody wind up with a name like Nugget? Is that his birth name? And the answer is yes, my parents gave it to me. They were hot shots in the chicken industry, and it was just about time that one of their kids got named something ridiculous. And that got me and my brother Gizzard concerned, because we both figured we'd have to spend the rest of our natural lives living in the shadows of our famous parents. But luckily for me, one day while I'm in the chicken factory, sick of hard work, I mean, boo, hard work. Okay, that's fine. Another group of people dead set on hard work, but it's fine, because somebody walked up to me and told me there's a way out. There's a guy with a very unique name himself, Daryl.
Go ahead.
And I want you to know that that's actually his name. Daryl. You have to say it like that. It's an accent thing. Daryl.
I am in the pit.
And he let me know that with a name like mine, I could be making a ton of money in the gold industry. So I throw down my breading, I pick up a pan, I thank Daryl, and I let him, and I walk all the way up to Skagway. And then, tumbleweed over here. They told me that the gold fields are 600 miles away in Canada. Yeah, no thanks, now my lower back. So instead I stayed in Skagway, opened my own restaurant right here in town. It was a king crab and pizza buffet. I called it the Crust Station.
Panning, and then
that's about the same response I got in the 1890s. Thank you for reminding me of one of my biggest failures, but it's fine. Because a couple days later I get back on my feet, I start selling pictures of salmon that I get. You see, I go around, I look in the rivers, if I see a salmon, I pull it out, put it up on a pedestal, take the picture. Having trouble selling those, though. And the reason it was very difficult to sell them is because nobody wanted to hang up a picture of a naked fish on their wall. They said it wasn't decent and not something that people do. So, I dressed them up. Thought that'd be a nice thing to do. And then it became easy to sell the pictures. I mean, just like shooting fish in apparel. All that to say, 126 years have passed. Instagram has made more things difficult for me every day. So now I'm here doing my fourth option, which is teaching you all how to look for what? Oh, yikes. Tad lackluster response to gold, don't you think? Hey, you forget about the 100,000 hopeful dreamers that froze to death on the White Pass? Don't worry, you got tickets. You're already set. No careful, claim jumper. This is a visual cue. Yeah, see, these are gold nuggets, genuine Klondike gold nuggets, and some of you are looking, don't touch my nuggets, man. Now, these actually came out of the earth 126 years ago, and when they did, they were some of the finest gold pieces that you could find in nature, sitting at around 18 to 22 carats. And they're still the finest pieces of gold you could find in nature. Anything purer than that is just this, melted down. They remove all of the impurities, then re-solidify it. It's 23, 24 karat gold bullion. And it makes some of the worst broth you've ever had in your life, and for the price of the stuff, absolutely unacceptable. And gold nuggets aren't just pure, they're also unbelievably rare, making up only 1/10 of 1% of the gold found in placer mining, or gold panning, what we're about to be doing. The rest of it's gold flake and gold dust. We have to kind of learn to appreciate the finer things in life. However, if you're dead set on finding a gold nugget, don't you worry, because I can show you exactly how to get one. The first thing you're going to do is when you head down to these gold fields, you're going to want to grab yourself a pan with some pay dirt in it. Pay dirt's any dirt that you think may have gold in it. And you step up to one of these beautiful heated water tables. And you look in the water at your own reflection. And you start dreaming about how your life could be way better if you were loaded up, and I mean loaded with gold nuggets right now. And then you hit the water, cause the image of yourself to become distorted. Let's say that together as a group. Distorted. and then your image starts to re-solidify. And as it does, you can theatrically pretend as though a transformation is taking place, and all of a sudden everything is clear, and you no longer need your gold pan. You storm away from the gold fields, head up to the gift shop. Now, I don't know how Joe does it, but they've got way better access to gold nuggets than they let me have. Like I said, 1/10 of 1% if you're down here playing the game, 100% if you go annoy Joe. So we'll give you time for that later too. You see, like I said, the rest of it's gold flake and gold dust, and that starts right here with this. Pay dirt. And pay dirt, any dirt that you suspect has gold in it. Now, I gotta tell you, looking at this right now, I am getting so suspicious. And here's why. I remember a couple minutes prior to this show, where I was really desperate to get everything ready, and heard you guys walking on up. And I was like, oh no, I got a show to do. And I started running, and I grabbed some dirt, threw some gold in here. And the reason I did that is because, could you imagine me getting to the end of this 15 minutes and whoops, sorry, no gold. Yeah, after all the punchlines I've been doing, it's not going to be safe for me with all the rocks in front of all of you. So sure, you caught me. There's gold in here, and we're pulling it out. And we're going to do that really simply because gold is heavy. Real heavy. 19 times heavier than water, 7 to 9 times denser than anything else in a gold pan. All that to say, you get water in here. You agitate everything in the pan. Where's all that heavy gold winding up? Pop quiz. Wow, college educated crowd, and so enthusiastic too. Here, what you're going to want to do is get water, just enough to cover your sand, your gravel, and your gold. And now you got to think of things that might agitate rocks. You stupid dirt, you dumb rocks, everyone hates you. They don't even like looking at you. They don't mind that I completely cover you in water, and they don't mind that you can't breathe. Yeah. You could have been a lot like your brother had you only been a little bolder. I wouldn't have even left Arkansas, Little Rock. And now that you've properly agitated the stuff and made it question its life choices, they're going to start injuring the stuff. Yeah, you have to add injury to the insult. So you start shaking. What this does is it makes all of your heavy gold fall right down to the bottom. Now, the reason it didn't go down with the agitating is because, like I said, it's awfully dense. It wasn't really listening to you. However, after about 45 minutes of shaking like this, all of your gold is going to have detached from all of the pebbles and settled right down to the bottom. So 1 second. Should have really developed more material for this part. That time you got to get on the boat. You know what? Sure. Do it for about a minute, then stop. All of your gold has now gone down to the bottom of the pan. However, you will note it is scattered around randomly, and there's dirt right on top of it. And while that may seem counterproductive, and oh boy, is it sets you up for step 2, where you shake again. But this time, instead of shaking flat, you start to tilt the pan away from your person. What this does is it changes the shape of the pan. Now you got a downward slope here, an upward slope here, and the point where those two meet is now going to be the lowest point of your pan. If you shake everything over this, because this is narrow and curved, all of your gold is going to bunch up right next to each other. Now you're going to know that you're done with this step when the person next to you is soaking wet and begging for you to stop shaking dirt water all over their brand new Crocs, and I don't blame them. Who wants to get their socks wet on vacation? However, after about a minute, you can stop shaking because you don't have pay dirt anymore. Instead, you got dirt that's blocking all this gold, and you need to kick this stuff out. And the way you do that, there's a handful of methods. This is one we've developed. It's called the Pickens technique. Can't really. Nope. Oh, whoa. Here we go. We're set up. Anybody hungry? I got a pomegranate. Maybe pass that around. No. Oh, great. I got a piece of quartz. Here, hold on to that for me. You get 4 of those, you got a gallon. You're going to be set. And this is even better. You can tell because of... Do you mind? Like, I'm currently in the middle of a... Okay, yeah, just be loud. It's okay. 1 second. I love you. I want you to meet my parents. Yeah, well, that works every time. This right here is, are you a geologist? Oh, you're just wearing the costume. Okay. You can look at this. What do I have in my hand? A rock! Yes, round of applause for our geologist. This is a rock. More specifically, I got in my hand here a piece of laborite. You see that? Leave it right there. It ain't gold. You gotta stop wasting your time with a bunch of pebbles. Now, if you want to get rid of these rocks quicker, here's what you do. You get everything shaken over that crease. Now that your gold is sitting at the bottom, you pour out all the water. You're then going to dunk this pan 3/4 of the way in and pull this pan right out. What's going to happen is, as you're going in at this angle, you're lifting up the top layer of sand and gravel. You pull the pan out before it has the opportunity to settle in with everything else. Once again, it's a quick motion, looks just like this. All right, maybe they'll like it better in the middle. Hey, how you guys doing? Watch careful, okay? You get it right into the crease. Pour out the water. If water wants to stay in the pan, so will every one of these pebbles. Straight in, straight out. Hey, not bad, but come on, guys. Listen. The only reason I wake up, put this hat and coat on and these pants and shoes is because I'm desperate for the attention and approval of others. Yeah. Just give me something, please. Whoa! That's how you do a gold pan pour. Now, if you notice you dunk your pan around 100,000 times and nothing's leaving, just change up what you're doing. Perhaps you make the pan a little bit steeper. Maybe you push it in or pull it out just a little bit faster. But whatever it takes to get your rocks off here today, you go ahead and you do it. Oh, okay, yeah, real mature, but it's fine. We'll keep going. You dunk. And then after every dunk, you just give it a safety shake right back into the crease, and you do it again. You dunk and shake and dunk and shake. That's what Wayne Newton was talking about in their famous hit. Dunk and shake, yeah, darling, dunk and shake. So you're down to 2 tablespoons of dirt. Now, if you use the metric system, don't worry, that's a little bit of dirt. You call it what you want. But this is what you're looking at right here. And this is the point where conveniently everybody says, oh, great, Nugget tricked us into washing all of our gold into the water so we can come back, maybe sluice it out for himself later. But what you're forgetting is that there was a group at 745 and they deserved it way more. So easy to take gold from. So you're safe, don't worry. Now you get your little amount of dirt in your pan, water sitting on top of it. Now you've got to separate the water from the dirt while it's still in the pan. That's very simple. You just kind of tilt the pan towards yourself. Just separates the water so the dirt goes up at the top, the water goes down to the bottom, and then you hold both sides. You're then going to allow the water to travel around in a circle by tilting the pan with your wrists. Each time you do that, it brings down a layer of that lightweight sand, but the heavy gold, staying up at the top, will finally start to reveal itself. And when it does, you just lessen this angle a little bit so you're not washing the gold back down into the dirt. But then once it starts to be visible, you can finally start getting excited about it. Eureka! Yes! Woo-wee! This is amazing! Oh, wow! This is the luckiest day of my life! This never happens! Like I say, I normally get right to the end and there's nothing in here. What are the odds of this? This is the luckiest day of my life! Wow! Eureka! AU if you're into periodic table humor. Gold if you're into direct communication, whatever it takes. But once you got the gold revealed, you need to collect it. You're going to need a place to store it. And we call that in the gold industry a gold poke. Simply any container that could hold gold. Some people use a glass jar. I've heard of leather pouches, Tupperware containers anymore. But I care a lot about the authentic old-timey experience that Skagway is famous for. So I went back in time, and I got you all a relic from the distant past. A bygone era. Whoa, yeah, film canisters. Soak it up. These are harder to find than gold nowadays. Yeah, this guy looks like Indiana Jones, like it belongs in a museum. No, look at this. Wow. I had to sit in a river outside Walgreens for 9.5 years with a bucket and a drink. But now I got these for you. And they're going to be sitting in the table next to where you're panning. You then dry your hands off. You can use one of the towels we've provided, or your sleeves if you're feeling bold, Nugget sleeves if you're feeling real bold, and then you take your finger, press it down onto the gold. Should stick right to it. And if you're a James Bond fan, this may look familiar. Oh, thank you so much. I was getting tired of doing the punchlines myself, so I gotta have backup jokesters all the time. Now, you get all of the gold pieces moved over just by touching them and tapping them. And then you close this up so that you hear the famous click. If you don't hear that click, this gold cannot and will not develop right. So be certain, please. Then you shake the gold, listen to it rattling around, carry it up to City Hall just over here, where they're going to weigh your gold, tell you what it's worth, how you could display it to make it even more beautiful. But the most important part is whatever gold you find in these pans today, you're going to be able to take it home with you. Keep it. Sound good? All right, then before you get out of here, I got one final thing to share with y'all, and that's just a little bit of my heart. So which one of y'all brought the scalpel? No, it's fine. I'll just tell you how I'm feeling then. I live and work in one of the most beautiful places on this planet, and the reason I get to stand out here, gold pan, and have one of the best adventures I've ever had is because people are still up here traveling around the world. I just want to say thank you, because whether or not you know it, genuinely you've given me the best part of my life, and you're not even going to be here more than an hour. So I just want to say thank you so much. And enjoy the rest of your time in Alaska. Now let's get you down to the gold fields. All right, hey, Tumbleweed. I corrupted all these people you sent down to me. Now they're claim jumpers. Yeah.